I think this is the most underprepared I've ever felt for one of these shows.
It's the Daylight Midnight Show.
Hello and welcome, and I have to say, this jacket is a little bit cold on the skin. It's obviously designed to have something underneath it, and the lining is a bit weird, so the skin feels a little bit odd. Anyway, hello and welcome. Let's reveal our slogan for the week then. This is something that I'm going to put up on the Door of Delights at the start of every show. That's going to be like my guiding theme for the rest of the show. And this week I've gone for 5 words: keep it in the moment. Which does sound like one of those things that I don't like, that people just forward on social media without really understanding what they mean, or they have it on a poster on their wall with a picture of a kitten or something, and it says, you know, oh, hang on in there, you'll be great, keep it in the moment is one of those. However, it is something that I haven't been doing recently, and I've been feeling the effects of it. When I'm thinking too far ahead and trying to plan too much, that's when I start to get anxious about stuff. When I keep it in the moment and deal with what's right in front of me and just take the next breath and the next step, that is when life seems to be okay. And I know that the things I'm going to face in the near future, I'll be able to deal with, because I'll just keep it in the moment then as well. And I haven't been doing that, so it's a reminder for me, and I think that showed in last week's show. I was so obsessed about the timer being back last week that I was trying to rush through to the next thing instead of concentrating on what I was supposed to be doing at that time. I wasn't keeping it in the moment. So that is going to be my little guiding principle for this week. That will be our slogan for today, and that is going up here on the Door of Delights, and there it is. So let's just go straight to this envelope then and reveal our fascinating fact for a Friday, something fun that I've learned in the past 7 days that I didn't know before. So I write it down on this bit of card and reveal it to you. The card is blank, by the way, but this is this week's fascinating fact for a Friday. In the sitcom One Foot in the Grave, the part of Victor Meldrew was very nearly played by the comedian Les Dawson. For some of you, you won't have a clue what any of that is. Les Dawson was an amazing comedian and TV show host that is a bit of a hero of mine. He wasn't much of an actor, but One Foot in the Grave, when it was being put together, they wanted Richard Wilson to play the part of Victor Meldrew. He was sort of stalling on it and wasn't too keen on it, so they approached Les Dawson, and then in the end, Richard Wilson said yes, and it became a fantastic sitcom that everybody knows and loves. But I can't help thinking there was a missed opportunity there, and it would have been better with Mr. Les Dawson. So that's our fact for the week. Meaningless to some of you, because if you're under the age of 30, you won't even know the show I'm talking about. Onto the purple card, which has its own theme song, and I'm using a different guitar, which is bigger, and I've just remembered this is D-tuned as well, so this is going to sound really weird because it's in a different key, but we'll give it a go. That's me playing the wrong chord. If you like to try new vegetables, perhaps you'll try a chard. Let's see what is written on the purple card. So the purple card is where I just write stuff down during the week that I want to talk to you about, and then we go through it during the show on the Friday. And this week it's all about the number 150, because this right now is the 150th video that I've posted on YouTube. Some of them might not be worth watching, but I'm still proud of the fact that I've managed to do that. And I did wonder to myself, what are they? So I had a quick look back through, and I did this twice, and the numbers came out different each time. And then I ran out of time in the show prep and just had to get on with it. So I think this is right. The 150 videos are comprised of 65 Daylight Midnight shows, 28 poems, 26 songs, 17 sketches, 6 science shows done with my son, 1 serious documentary, 1 Christmas story, 1 short film, a video of guinea pigs, oh, I miss having guinea pigs, 1 ill-advised rap, and then 2 shorts, 1 of which is a song, and 1 of which is a sonnet. If you add all those up, it totals 150, including this one. Now, I can't guarantee I'll make it through another 150 videos, but thank you for the ones you have watched, and do come back and join me for for video 151, which will be a song posted in a few days. Now, following on from that, I decided, as I do sometimes, I get a little idea in my head and I just decide to run with it, and I get lost down these little research rabbit holes. So I thought I'd look up some interesting facts about the number 150. I've reached this landmark number. What historical significance does it also have? At one point the other day I did think, let's come up with 150 facts about the number 150, but there probably aren't enough that are interesting. It would take me too long to do, and I've got other stuff to do in my life, and it would make this video probably 150 minutes long. But wouldn't that have been wonderful? But let's keep it short. So just a few interesting facts about the number 150, and we'll start in the field of mathematics. 150 is the sum of 8 consecutive prime numbers. 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29 and 31. If you add those up, it totals 150. That's a maths fact that I can actually understand, and there aren't many of those. Now here's a maths one that I don't have a clue about, but I think this is linked to the last one. So I'll read this, not understanding one word of it. 150 is conjectured to be the only minimal difference greater than 1 of any increasing arithmetic progression of n primes, in this case n equals 7, that is not a primorial, a product of the first m primes. I don't know. So let's move on to history then. In the year 150 BC, or whatever we're calling it these days, the Roman consuls were Flamininus and Bulbus. Hence it was known as the year of the consulship of Flamininus and Bulbus, because they didn't have year numbers then. And isn't that a great name for some characters in something? If I ever get round to writing another pantomime, the comedy duo are going to be called Flamininus and Bulbus. In the same year, 150 BC, or whatever we're calling it nowadays, the enlargement of the Great Stupa of Sanchi in India began. If you don't know what that is, it's a Buddhist complex. Bits of it still exist to this day, and it's one of the oldest stone buildings in the whole of India. Over 2,000 years old, and you can still go and see it these days. In the year 150 AD, or whatever we call it these days, the year started on a Wednesday. They wouldn't have known that because it was in the days before the Julian calendar, but for our purposes it started on a Wednesday. And in that year, 150 AD, or whatever we're calling it, it is thought that Ptolemy produced his Geographia, which is believed to be the first ever atlas. It showed a map of the Roman Empire and had information on cartography itself. So, more modern day stuff. If you want to drive on the B150 road in Britain, you'll find it in the Finsbury Park area of North London. Should I tell you my stories about being at a concert in Finsbury Park? No, I'll save that for another day, but one of it involved me getting my leg stuck through a gate. If you want to drive on the A150 road in Britain, you can't, because it doesn't exist anymore. It used to connect Wisbech in Cambridgeshire to Long Sutton in Lincolnshire, but the road has been reclassified and is now called something else. Should we start a campaign to rename it back to the A150? No, I've got more than enough to get on with. The quickest time a human has ever been recorded running 150 metres in a sprint is 14.35 seconds. It probably won't surprise you to know that that person was Usain Bolt. And finally, and you know sometimes I talk about the way that things can just come together in a way you're not expecting and can be quite wonderful. How about this for a fact I discovered this week? There's an asteroid called 150 Nuwa. I believe it's named after the Chinese goddess of fertility. It's a large asteroid that orbits the Sun once every 5 years, give or take. And why is it particularly lovely to mention today? This is my 150th video. Its name is 150 Nuwa, and it was discovered 150 years ago this week. October 1875, Canadian-American astronomer James Craig Watson found it and named it 150 Nuwa. You couldn't make this stuff up, and I absolutely guarantee you that I didn't. So where are we now? We are now on Gregory. Okay, do I give you the full story or not? Yes, I will. So this is a thing that I started a few weeks ago, came up with the title A Beautiful Day for Gordon Grape, and I'm asking you to write subsequent chapters as we go through it. This is the story so far. Gordon Grape wasn't your average fruit. He was plump, purple and proud with a glossy skin that shimmered like polished amethyst. He lived in the lush vineyard of Willow Vale, nestled between rolling hills and kissed daily by the golden sun. But today wasn't just any day. Today was perfect. Then came the moment. Unexpectedly, the wind came howling through the valley. Gordon tried in vain to cling to his vine, but the strength of the gusts ripped him from his home and carried him away to adventure. Tossed and tattered, thrown and blown, sent hither and yon, and scared for his life, Gordon felt his skin begin to peel as the torrent of weather continued, until finally, thankfully, happily, the wind settled down and Gordon was deposited in a field in a land he had never seen before. And here is chapter 4. Surrounded by palm trees, smelling the glorious aroma of heather, he felt instantly at home in his new surroundings. And he wasn't alone, for placed on the ground beside him were 2 other new arrivals with whom he could become friends. Who are those going to be? It's over to you. Let me know, send me your thoughts, and you might be the author of chapter 5, which I will reveal next week. What will I be wearing in next week's video? Let's find out by using the rotating randomness of the coloured cube. We do that, and it is red, so next week I will be wearing a vest. Over the top of that, I will be wearing whatever is in column red again, which is my grey jacket. It's amazing how often we get the same colour a couple of times. But I assure you, I'm throwing it and I'm rolling it, and now I do that. Will it be 3 reds in a row? It will! So we're going for the entirety of the redness. So next week it'll be a vest, a grey jacket with nothing over the top. Will my hair be down for the 4th week in a row, or will it be up in a ponytail out of the way? Let's find out. I'm nearly dropping it. Hang on, it's going to fall off, man. There it is. Okay, so that is, it's tails. So my hair will be up. Tails is for ponytail, so my hair will be tied up. We've made it to the end of video 150. What a journey it's been in the last 5.5 years. I will see you next week. Have a great 7 days.